My biggest qualm with meditation when I first started learning about meditation was that it seemed very flimsy and unconvincing. It was around the same time of learning about meditation that I was researching the true power of the placebo effect, and subsequently I wrote off any reported meditative benefits seen online as placebo that therefore wouldn't work on me. Today, I don't believe that one bit. Extensive research using MRI scans, PET scans, EEG studies, measurements of neurotransmitter levels, as well as the sheer number of people who experience benefits from meditation, altogether clearly shows that the meditative benefits that I'm going to highlight today in this video are not simply a product of the placebo effect. To highlight why meditation works, I need to first briefly explain what happens when you meditate. In your brain, there's something called the prefrontal cortex. At the front of your head, it takes up about a third of your brain and is divided into two chambers, the left side and the right side. The prefrontal cortex is involved in many cognitive processes such as decision making, reasoning, personality expression, and social cognition. There's ongoing debates on how much is done on the left side of the prefrontal cortex and how much is done on the right side. It ties into the whole left brain versus right brain debate. I'm sure you've heard of that, but yeah, just for now, forget that. Think of the prefrontal cortex as just one entity that allows you to interpret your emotions. Now, something called the anterior cingulate cortex, which I'm not saying again, and from now on will be called the ACC, monitors your body's internal state and reacts to numerous changes such as pain, numbness, and increase in pulse rate. Prefrontal cortex, which remember is effectively the emotional center of the brain, has control of these responses. It works with the ACC, if you will. For instance, if you're running and your heart rate increases, your ACC detects these changes, but it doesn't signal alarms because the prefrontal cortex helps interpret it as a normal response to exercise, effectively telling the ACC not to worry. Other parts of your brain, such as the amygdala and insula, also work with the ACC, but we'd be needlessly overcomplicating it by discussing those two. Similarly though, your eyes work with your prefrontal cortex to interpret how to respond to what the eyes are seeing outside your body, just like how the ACC monitors what's happening inside your body. You're probably seeing a pattern here. If you strengthen your control of your prefrontal cortex, you therefore strengthen the control of not only your emotions and thoughts, but also your interoceptive and exteroceptive awareness. For those unaware, interoceptive means focusing on things internally, such as a toothache, and exteroceptive means focusing on things externally, such as a candle in front of you. This is what meditation does exactly. It makes you focus and refocus on your third eye, which coincidentally is where the prefrontal cortex is, leading to numerous benefits such as more sleep, a better mood, even alleviating symptoms of depression. It makes you think about your circumstances more rationally and logically, used to being more focused and present. It reduces illnesses, even relative to some drug treatment. It allows you to feel more rested. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, and it gives you numerous other benefits too. Now you know why meditation works and what benefits can arise from it. Let's now talk about actually meditating. Earlier I said meditation is about focusing and refocusing on your third eye, and although this isn't wrong, this is actually only one of two types of meditation. Focusing internally on your third eye is called interoceptive meditation. Remember, interoceptive means focusing on things internally. The second type of meditation is called exteroceptive meditation, which remember is focusing on things externally. For example, a candle in front of you. Now, why does this matter? Literally everyone, more or less, has either an interoceptive or an exteroceptive bias, meaning they are better at focusing on things either inside their body or outside of their body as opposed to the other. It's fundamental to understand this because, as an example, if you're already interoceptively biased and only do interoceptive meditation, focusing on your internal state, focusing on your third eye, not improving your exteroceptive awareness, this could actually make things worse for you. For example, many with anxiety have anxiety because they are very keenly aware of any subtle shift in their heart rate or breathing or change in sensation in their stomach. What I'm trying to say is make sure you're doing the meditation that's best for you and is hardest as well for you. Those things go hand in hand. If you want to improve your interoceptive awareness, close your eyes and focus on your third eye. If you want to improve your exteroceptive awareness, do the opposite, focusing on something outside your body. Now, it is absolutely not required for you to have your eyes closed during meditation. Remember though, your eyes are of course the main organ involved in monitoring external stimuli, so when we close our eyes, we shut down one of the major venues for sensory input, so obviously vision. This therefore obviously increases interoceptive awareness because our eyes are closed. My general rule of thumb is close your eyes during interoceptive meditation, open your eyes during exteroceptive meditation. Now, there's two more things I want to talk about, and the first one is breathing. Now, you've got to have cyclical breathing during meditation as it will help with your focus. As simple as it sounds, the more deliberate and unnatural your breathing is, the harder it is to focus on other things. This is why cyclical and natural breathing is necessary for meditation. I also want to add that if you inhale for longer relative to your exhales, you will of course be more alert. And if you exhale for longer relative to your inhales, you will instead be more calming down your nervous system. If you're wondering, this is known as the psychological sigh, ties in with your carbon dioxide. I find it really interesting. Definitely have a look if you have any spare time. Now lastly, the environment you're in when you're meditating, as well as how long you're in that environment for, is also very important when doing meditation. Dr. Wendy Suzuki from New York University popularized the 13-minute meditation through a study which showed that a daily 13-minute meditation for about 8 weeks greatly improved numerous previously stated meditative benefits. The study also helped show that the amount of time one should be meditating for isn't just one singular time. 13 minutes isn't necessarily needed. You also don't need to progressively overload with your meditation. For instance, doing 5 minutes and then in a month 10 minutes, then working up to 20 minutes, then working up to an hour. Don't need to do that. Remember, meditation is simply about learning to reach the neurological state of mind and then staying in such. With that said though, consistency is of course key. If you're meditating once a month, that's going to provide very little benefits. In theme with that, make sure you're meditating in a suitable environment. Meditation is a focusing and refocusing exercise. I found it really interesting when studies came out showing that meditation too close to bedtime actually decreases your sleep, since sleep is obviously about focusing less, especially on your thoughts and emotions. Therefore, do not meditate as you're about to sleep. I made this mistake and I'm sure many others do too. Also, you don't have to be sitting down when doing meditating. I didn't realize that either. You can lie down or even walk. Just make sure it's of course feasible and rational. You're not falling asleep or walking off a cliff. You got to obviously keep that in mind as you're doing your meditation. On a serious note though, that's basically all I have for you on meditation. If you reach a state of complete balance between interoceptive and exteroceptive awareness, you can combine these two meditative practices. For instance, breathing 3 times interoceptively and then breathing 3 times exteroceptively, then repeating. This is, of course, my first proper video, so if you have any thoughts, constructive criticism that you'd like to share, please do feel free. This is my 4th attempt trying to record this video. This has taken a very long time, so hopefully this is actually recording and working. Also, please leave support because first video and would be appreciated. And that's about it. Goodbye.